again. Welcome back. Welcome to class number 173. Yes, sir. Not bad. We're working. 23 classes left. Not many. Not many classes left. We have only 23 classes left. You know, if we finish this course, one expression you're going to know is left. How much time do we have left? How many classes do we have left? Or how many classes have we got left? All right, we're going to see that. But first, a review of class number 172 on camera number 1, please. All right, yes. Oh, it rained yesterday. And it rained all day, and it also rained all night. Okay. Now, I teach English, and I teach Spanish too sometimes. Eso es como un aparte, de menos relevancia. I teach English for a living, but I teach Spanish too. Not very often, but I speak Spanish. Ahora, I teach English for a living, but I also teach, que conste, but I also teach Spanish. So when you say also, inserting it at the beginning of a sentence, not at the end, it's usually like y que conste, que también, no solo, sino también. De hecho, la expresión, no solo, sino también, is he not only works in a car company, but he also is the member of the board in several suppliers. I not only teach English, but I also manage a company. I not only teach English on the radio, but I also teach it on television. Yes, I not only work 20 hours a day practically, but I also compose music as a hobby. I not only come here to teach you English, but I also come here to supervise certain elements of the program. Okay? Not only, but also. Sino también. Juan Luis not only works as a sound technician, but he also works as a floor technician. All right? Seven not only works as a light technician, but he also works as a general supervisor. All right? So, not only, but also. And then, of course, as well. As well. And two. La palabra expression as well is a bit higher. Not sophisticated, but a bit higher than two. Nancy is sick, by the way. Nancy's sick? Oh my God. Jennifer's sick too. Es muy visceral tú. Okay. Nancy está enferma. Oh, Dios mío, Ginny también. Ginny lo está también. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Nancy is sick. Is she really? Well, Ginny is sick too. Ginny is sick too. What should we do? We have a problem. We've got a problem. Okay? So, now, it would be strange as if, for example, two friends are talking. Nancy is sick. Really? Well, Jennifer's sick as well. What should we do? As well is higher level English. Two is everyday English. As well is a little bit higher level English. For example, Napoleon was a very important person in French history. He says, yes, true. But, you know, Charles de Gaulle was a very important person as well. Okay? Probably in this case, as well is better than two. Okay? Nancy's sick. Really? Well, Jennifer's sick too. Oh my God, we have a problem. Oh my God, we've got a problem. What should we do? Napoleon was an important person in French history. And de Gaulle, Charles de Gaulle, was an important person as well. Ahora, si quiero recalcar aún más, diría also. Napoleon was a very important person in French history, but de Gaulle was also, que conste, que no se te olvide, but de Gaulle was also an important person in history. Don't underestimate de Gaulle and overestimate Napoleon in the importance of French history. They both left a mark on French history, an indelible mark, indeleble, como se dice aquí, on French history. Which person was more important in French history? Well, in current contemporary history, definitely de Gaulle. But I think if you take the entire spectrum of French history, I would say that Napoleon Bonaparte was probably more important than Charles de Gaulle. But de Gaulle was important as well. He was also the founder, the creator of the current Fifth Republic of France. Okay? The current Constitution of France is thanks to Charles de Gaulle. It established a president and a prime minister, and it gave the president 6 or 7 years in office and created the president as a quasi-king. Okay? It's quite important. So Charles de Gaulle is very important as well. Napoleon's very important, but Charles de Gaulle is also quite important. It's hard to say who has had a greater impact on French history, although I think most people would agree that maybe Napoleon is slightly more important in historical terms for France as a nation of 2,000 years, okay? Starting with Gaul, Las Gallias, before. So, also yesterday we were looking at to grow up. Remember, to grow is crecer. Yes. To grow up is irse criando y haciéndose mayor. When you grow up, at many moments when you're growing up, you are growing more quickly than at other moments. People grow in spurts and rachas. Sometimes they grow quickly and then they stabilize and grow more slowly. Now, if you grow up in a difficult neighborhood, the probability that you will have problems later is greater than if you grow up in a good neighborhood. However, some people say it doesn't matter where you grow up. It's genetic. If you inherit good genes from your parents, you will be a good person or an intelligent person or a successful person, even if you grow up in a bad neighborhood. I don't agree with that 100%. The correlation is not 100%. But it is true that if you grow up in a bad neighborhood, the possibility of becoming bad is greater than if you grow up in a good neighborhood. I grew up in good neighborhoods, I think. Yeah, I grew up in good neighborhoods. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in Madrid? Did you grow up in Barcelona? Did you grow up in Bilbao? Where did you grow up?
Hello and welcome to Vaughan Inglés 4.0. My name is Alberto Alonso and I will be your teacher for today. That's right. So I hope you're ready to follow along. Eso es, seguirnos en casa. To follow along. You'd better, más te vale. You'd better follow along. Eso es. Diremos you had better, pero nunca se pronuncia ese had. Se contrae y se diría you'd better. You'd better study. You'd better listen to me. I'm going to tell you some important things. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my star student, Mamen. Hello, Mamen, how are you?
Great.
Okay, no, last time I tricked you, but this time I couldn't trick you.
Yes. I
All
feel
right.
great.
Great, like James Brown, but even
Yes.
better, because he only felt good. You feel great.
No, I'm better, yeah.
Great. Now, are you learning a lot?
I'm learning a lot.
Do you feel more comfortable speaking English?
Yes, a lot more
Than you did maybe at the beginning of the course, for example?
Yes, of course. Every day I'm getting more confident.
Yeah, that's the idea. And when you get confident,
Yeah.
then people have to tell you, okay, enough, right? At first, people are like, come on, esfuérzate, habla. Y al final they think,
Shut up.
okay, shut up. Nah, but that's the idea. The idea is
Nah.
to talk as much as possible. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't.
No.
Because if you make mistakes, that's good. We can identify your mistakes and we can correct them.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the idea. All right, well, ask me what we're going to look at today.
What are we going to look at today?
We're going to look at to grow up.
Oh, okay.
And how do you say, vamos a mirar otra cosa también?
We are going to look at another thing too.
We're going to look at another thing too. ¿Hay otra forma de decir ese tú, ese también?
Oslo. Also.
Also. So dime esa también.
We are going to look at another thing also.
Also. Okay.
Also.
Or we are also going
We are-
to look
yes.
at another thing. Se
Okay.
puede poner al final o después del sujeto y el verbo.
Yeah.
But hay una forma más fácil. El to siempre va al final.
Yeah.
Entonces, nos encanta el to, porque el to no hay fallo, no hay margen de error.
Okay.
Al final, siempre, to. I'm going, are you going to? ¿Vas tú también? Okay. También ser, are you also going? Are you going also? Pero ahí, si dudas, pues puedes
Yeah.
to, vale. Hay otra forma, ¿sabes? Otra que podemos decir también, que va al final también. Este es más británico, pero lo usamos también. Pero si tuviera que decir uno es más, to es más americano, este es más británico.
I can't think now.
As well.
Ah, yes, as well.
I know you know that
Yes.
one. I know you know that
And
one
I
as
use
well.
it a lot.
Of course, I've heard it come out of your mouth. Sure, as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
say to and as well. So vamos a practicar. Yo te lo voy a dar y quiero que me lo das con las tres. Also, to and as well. Así tenemos variedad en nuestro idioma, ¿ok? Yo lo vi también.
I saw it too. I saw it too.
Okay, and give it to me now with as well. Y con este-
I saw it as well.
I saw it as well. And
And I also saw it.
I also saw it. Muy bien. Ask me, ¿lo viste tú también?
Did you see it too?
Yes, I saw it too. I saw it too. I saw it as well. I also saw it. I also saw it. Okay? He leído ese libro y también he leído este.
I read that book and I read this as well.
I read this one.
This one as well.
Yeah, I read that book and I read this one as well. Or
I read this book, that book, and I read this one. I read this one too.
two. Yeah, as well y to. También vale also. A lo mejor also es el primero que te enseñan. Okay, but
Yeah.
as well and to. Okay? Just to have different ways to say the
Yeah.
same thing. Especially if you're writing an email. Si pones to en la
Yeah.
pues mejor as well en la próxima frase. Right? Okay, a little variety. Okay, now I said to grow up. Grow up is what?
Crecer.
Crecer. Ask me where I grew up.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the United States. Okay, now criarse is a little different too because I was brought up. My parents brought me up. Eso es criar
Yeah.
niños. So you have to be brought up by someone else. But I grew up, you can grow up alone. I grew up in the United States. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in different cities
In
of
different
Spain.
cities. In Spain.
In
Okay, so
Spain.
you grew up in several cities.
Several cities in Spain,
Es un
yeah.
verbo irregular. Every day I grow up. Yesterday I
I grew up.
grew up. And lately?
I've grown up.
Grown up. También es madurarse, right? I've grown up a lot lately. I don't know if that's true. Se ríe. You're laughing at me, right? I've grown up a lot, I swear, lo juro. Okay? Now
I
be
can
careful. You can tell, se nota. Well, be careful because I was in Rome and we had a tour guide, and the tour guide was telling us about how the city was growing. He was giving us the history. We were in the Forum, El Foro Romano.
Yeah.
And we were walking around, and he said, oh, this city grew up. Esto es un error. Y quería corregirle y no le corregí. Grow up solo personas. Okay, cosas, movimientos, things like this. Nothing can grow up. Only people can grow up.
Okay.
Si no, es grow, sin el up. Y hay mucha confusión. Only people can grow up. Anything can grow, especially your English. See you. Ciao.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, we're going to practice again the verb to have and the expression have got. Camera number 1, please. I'm going to say the sentence in the have got form, and I'll transfer it to the have form. Okay? I've got a watch. I've got a watch. I have a watch. I've got a lot of problems. I have a lot of problems. I've got breakfast every day. Ay, perdón, no se puede decir eso. No, solo I have breakfast every day. All right? I've got a sister. I have a sister. I've got 2 children. I have 2 children. I haven't got a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. I haven't got time for you today. I don't have time for you today. Maria hasn't got a watch. Maria doesn't have a watch. Qué mal a mí me suena hasn't got en este caso. Maria hasn't got a watch, but it's correctísimo. Maria hasn't got a watch. Maria doesn't have a watch. The Spanish government hasn't got any idea about economics. The Spanish government doesn't have any idea about economics. I haven't got any water in my cup. I don't have any water in my cup. All right. The car hasn't got a steering wheel. The car doesn't have a steering wheel. Casi siempre se diría este último. El coche no tiene volante. The car doesn't have a steering wheel. The car hasn't got a steering wheel. No, se puede decir los dos. The car hasn't got a steering wheel. Para que me suene bien hasn't got, lo tengo que poner en un contexto natural. The car hasn't got a steering wheel. Can you believe it? The car doesn't have a steering wheel. Both are perfectly correct. Yes. My car hasn't got any wheels. Yeah. My car hasn't got any wheels. My car doesn't have any wheels. Yes. Yes. You know, if you buy a car, when they give you the car, it has 4 wheels. You've noticed that, haven't you? Well, if people say, if you take English classes, okay, without using the language at home, without speaking and using it and practicing it, it's like buying a car without any wheels. Okay? Have you bought a car without any wheels concerning the English language? The wheels are the correa de transmisión. Todo lo que damos aquí cae un saco roto si no hay correa de transmisión, que es the you, repitiendo en voz alta hasta la saciedad si es posible, las estructuras. Then in that case you have a car with wheels, or you've got a car with wheels. Okay, have you got a car? Do you have a car? Have you got 5 minutes? Excuse me, do you have 5 minutes? Have you got any time for me? Do you have any time for me? All right. I've got a message for you. I have a message for you. I've got a lot of time. Don't worry. I have a lot of time. Don't worry. I've got at least 20 emails I need to answer. I've got at least 20 emails to answer for tomorrow. I have at least 20 emails to answer for tomorrow. I haven't got any water left in my cup, Juan Luis. I don't have any water left in my cup, Juan Luis. I've got a headache. Oh, I've got a terrible headache. I have a terrible headache. I've got a sore throat today. I have a sore throat today. No, I haven't got any problem with that. I don't have any problem with that. No, go ahead. No problem. I've got something to say to you. I'm sorry. I've got something important to say. I've got something important to say. I have something important to say. Ambos valen. I've got something important to say. Lo importante para mí es, realmente prefiero I have. Es más fácil que I've got. Segundo, se usa para las consumiciones. No se usa I've got. No se dice nunca, I've got dinner every night with my wife. No, I have dinner every night with my wife. Y luego el pasado, I had. No existe I had got. So, I recommend again to refresh your memory from the other day. I recommend that you use I have, I don't have, do you have, he has, he doesn't have, does he have? Because it's always right. Always. Have got is not always right. And it's more difficult to say. Okay, but remember, when people talk to you, they will use have got all the time. In Britain, probably 70% of the time, have got. And in the United States, 50% of the time. We use them equally. I have, I've got. We've still got about 2 minutes left, I think, Juan Luis. We've got about 2 minutes left. We've still got. Todavía tenemos 2 minutos, o nos quedan 2 minutos. We've still got 2 minutes left. We still have 2 minutes left. But I think we've got 23 programs left, 23 classes left. After this class, no. When we finish this class, we've got 22 classes left, not 23. When we finish this class today, we'll have, futuro, 22 classes left. I've got 17 pencils. I have 17 pencils. I haven't got 25 pencils. I don't have 25 pencils. Okay. How many pencils have you got? How many pencils do you have? Have you got a car? Do you have a car? Have you got any children? Do you have any children? Have you got any big problems? Do you have any big problems? Have you got a problem with your mortgage? Hipoteca? Have you got a problem with your mortgage? Do you have a problem with your mortgage? We've got 1 minute left. We have 1 minute left. We haven't got 5 minutes left. We don't have 5 minutes left. How much time have we got left? How much time do we have left? All right. I've got something for you. I have something for you. I'm sorry, I haven't got anything for you today. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for you today. Do you have dinner with your wife every day? Do you have dinner with your husband every day? Did you have a car when you were 17? No se admite had you got en el pasado. Did you have a car? Do you have a car now? Have you got a car now? We have 2 seconds left. I have to go, but I'll be back. All right, we've got a lot of things we need to do before the end of this course. We've got 22 classes left. We've got a lot of things we need to do. All right, or we have a lot of things. I haven't got, I don't have. He hasn't got, he doesn't have. Let me repeat one more time. I recommend, I don't have, he doesn't have, do you have, does he have, I have, he has. El got, have you got? Está bien, pero es más difícil de reproducir porque incluye un verbo auxiliar, have, más got, y no se usa en el pasado ni para consumiciones ni para comidas. Hay que recordar esto. ¿Ok? Con do you have se cubre todo. Facilita el lenguaje. ¿Ok? Simplemente hay que estar al loro porque lo van a usar en la vida real. Have you got? See you in a few minutes for the last segment.
Hi there, good to see you again. My name's Carly, and before we start our class, I want to introduce my guest. I'm here with Luca. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, I'm fine, thank you. Happy to be here. Today, we are going to practice an interesting verb, which I think students have a lot of doubts, they have a lot of doubts with, is to have versus to have got. Have and have got, not to have got. Okay, so I'm going to give you a sentence with have got, and you give it to me with have. Right? Have got is more British English, and to have is more American English, but they're both completely correct. So let's practice. I've got a pen.
I have a pen.
Yeah, it's almost the same. I've got a pen, the contraction I've got versus I have, right? The same, good, but have you got a pen?
Do you have a pen?
Oh, Luca, perfect, repeat.
Do you have a pen?
Good, so we say have you got, which changes the form. Have you got a pen versus
do you have a pen?
Exactly. Do you have a pen? I think, Luca, have you ever said have you got and forgotten to say got? Have you a pen?
Yes, sometimes.
Probably, right? I personally recommend the verb to have because you never make the mistake of saying have you a pen, which isn't correct. So have you got is completely fine. But at home, you have to remember got, right? You have to remember got. Good. So let's see. We've got a problem.
We have a problem.
Perfect. Good. We haven't got a problem.
We don't have a problem.
Exactly, good. Have they got a new car?
Do they have a new car?
Good. Now, give me the short answer. Have they got a new car with have got?
No, they haven't got one.
Good. No, they haven't got one. Good. Or, no, they don't. Have they got a car? A new car? No, they don't. So we still have to remember.
So you can mix.
You can. The problem is with have got, the auxiliary is still do
Okay.
in the short answer. So have they got a new car? Yes, they do. Personally, if you say yes, they've got one, which was good, it's perfect. But yes, they have. For me, that's not the correct short answer because it's present perfect. So keep practicing with have they got a new car? Yes, they do. Right?
Okay.
Because that's still the auxiliary. Yeah?
Okay.
All right, good. They've got 2 cats. With
They
have.
have got 2 cats.
With just have.
They have 2 cats.
Good. Have they got 2 cats?
Do they have 2 cats?
Good. So we do change the order. Have they got versus do they have? Yeah. They haven't got 2 cats.
They don't have 2 cats.
Perfect. Good. Yeah. Which one do you use more commonly? Have got or have?
Sometimes have got.
Sometimes have got is completely fine. I think a lot of my students have studied sort of more British English in school, which is normal. But a lot of teachers practice have got, have got. They're both perfect. You choose which one you prefer. Good. Have we got enough money?
Do we have enough money?
Good. Do we have enough money? Have we got enough money? Remember, enough plus the noun. Enough money, enough cash. Good. Has he got a girlfriend?
Does he has a girlfriend?
Does he?
Does he have a
Good.
girlfriend?
I love watching Luca. I can see her face the moment. Ah, yeah, I remember that. At home, when you're practicing, try to correct yourself. Try to catch those errors because I can see Luca's face go, why did I say that? Good. Let's see. He hasn't got a new girlfriend.
He doesn't have a girlfriend.
Good. A new girlfriend or a girlfriend. Perfect. He doesn't have versus he hasn't got. Good. Have you got a pen?
Do you have a pen?
Good. They don't have a pen.
They haven't got a pen.
Good, thank you, because I said the wrong one. Now, I'm Canadian. I always use the verb to have, I never think of have got. So for me, this is challenging. For you, it's completely fine. But both of them are correct, and both of them are really common. I think, do you have a new pen, follows more of the same order of regular verbs to ask with do, right? But it's my opinion. Have I got anything on my nose?
Do I have anything on my nose?
Good, no you don't. Good, do I have anything on my nose? Good. He's got a new shirt.
He has a new shirt.
Good, he hasn't got a new shirt.
He doesn't have a new shirt.
Good. Has he got a new shirt?
Does he have a new shirt?
Good, repeat that.
Does he have a new shirt?
Excellent, good. Does he have a new shirt? Now, ask me, no, don't ask me. This have got's killing me. I've got a pony.
I have a pony.
What's a pony?
A little horse.
Good. Do you remember My Little Ponies?
Yes, I do.
All the women do. My Little Ponies used to be like a little toy, and it was a TV show. So pony, P-O-N-Y, is the horse. Do you say the same in Spanish?
Yes.
Pony. Perfect. Good. Have we got a house?
Do we have a house?
Good. We haven't got a house.
We don't have a house.
Good. Let's see. Have I got anything on my trousers?
Do I have anything on my trousers?
Good. Have I got a stain?
Do I have a stain?
Good. Stain, we say stain.
Stain?
Good. In Spanish?
Mancha.
Good. Stain. S-T-A-I-N. Stain. No S-Stain. Stain. Good. I've got some advice for you.
I have some advice for you.
Good. Advice is countable or uncountable?
Uncountable.
Good. Consejos in English is advice. We can't count it. Good. So that's a little trick. So, have you got any advice for me?
Do you have any advice for me?
Excellent. Do you have any advice for me? I've got some advice for you.
I have some advice for you.
I don't have any. I haven't got any advice for you.
I don't have any advice for you.
Good. We have to reverse because I'm the American Canadian
I
and she's the British English. You can really tell based on countries where you're from with have and have got. Because I know immediately if someone uses have got, they're British from their accent, but from the use of the verb. I never use this. Good. She's got a bicycle.
She has a bicycle.
Good. She hasn't got a motorcycle.
She doesn't have a motorcycle.
Good. Has she got a moped?
Does she have a moped?
Good. Moped, do you know? It's like a little motorcycle.
Okay.
Just less strong than or less fast than a bigger motorcycle. Moped, we say.
Moped.
Moped, yeah. So has she got a moped? Does she have a moped? Yeah, moped. Good. In Thailand, they're really common, like little scooters. Yeah, good. He's got information about him.
He has information about him.
Good. Has he got any information about him?
Does he have any information about him?
Information.
Information.
Good, repeat.
What did I say?
You said information a little bit. As a question, has he got any information about him?
Does he have any information
Perfect, yeah. About him?
about him?
Good. He hasn't got any information about him.
He doesn't have any information about him.
Perfect, good. So have got, he has, yeah? He's got, he has. Good, let's see. I've got a cabin in the mountains.
I have a cabin in the mountains.
Good, a cabin, a little house, right? A wooden house probably. Has he got a cabin in the mountains?
Does he have a cabin in the mountains?
Good, cabin with the B, cabin.
Cabin.
Good, cabin. Do you have a cabin?
No, I wish.
I wish, me too. But maybe at the beach instead of in the mountains. I would prefer at the beach.
Me too.
Yeah, you're a beach girl? All right, good. Let's see. Has he got puppies?
Does he have puppies?
Good. And puppies are little baby dogs. Baby dogs. So has he got versus does he have? Both of them are correct, but I would recommend practicing both. Take care.
Okay. Do you want to learn English? Do you need English? Do you want English? Well, if you want it, ask me for it. I'll give it to you. If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. Simply ask for it. If you want something, ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask. Do you want to change to camera one? Excuse me? You want to change to camera one? Well, ask me to change. If you want to change to camera number one, ask me for it. Ask me to change. Richard, would you mind changing to camera number one? No problem. I would be delighted. It's a pleasure. Let's change. Okay. To ask is preguntar. To ask for, según los diccionarios, es pedir. Okay. Pídemelo. Ask me for it. Literalmente, pregúntame por ello. Es pídemelo en inglés. Ask me for it. Ask me for it. Ask me for, if you want this cup, ask me for it. If you want these pencils, ask me for them. If you want this paper clip as a souvenir of Bago en Inglés 4.0, ask me for it. I'll sell it to you. How much would you give me for this famous paper clip? All right. 5 euros? 10 euros? 500 euros? Okay. If you want the paper clip, ask me for it. Ask me to sell it to you, or ask me to give it to you. Pídeme que te lo dé. Ask me to give it to me, to give it to you. Pídeme que te lo dé en mano. Ask me to hand it to you. Pídeme que te lo enseñe. Ask me to show it to you. Pídeme que lo deje caer. Ask me to drop it. Pídeme que te señale con la mano. Ask me to point at you. Cuando usamos un verbo después de pedir, le pedí que viniera, no se dice ask for aquí, es ask to. Voy a pedir que venga Pedro. I'm going to ask Pedro to come. Voy a pedir a Juan Luis que preste atención. I'm going to ask Juan Luis to pay attention. I want him to pay attention, so I'm going to ask him to pay attention. I need him to pay attention. Lo de to pay attention es una constante. Quiero que preste atención. I want him to pay attention. I need him to pay attention. I'm going to ask him to pay attention. Okay? I'm going to tell him to pay attention. I'm going to order him to pay attention. Okay. Ahora, si digo insist, cambia la cosa. I'm going to insist that he pay attention. But that's for another day. Okay. Ask me for the cup. Excuse me, Richard, can I have the cup? Sure. Here, the cup. Ask me for the paper clip. Excuse me, Richard, can I have the paper clip? Sure. Ask me for the papers. Excuse me, Richard, can I have the papers you're holding? Sure. Here they are. Okay. Ask me for the pencils. Excuse me, Richard, can I have the pencils? Can you give me the pencils? No problem. Here they are. Excuse me, Rafa. Can I have the pencils back? I would like to ask you for the pencils. I want to ask you to give me the pencils again. Thank you. All right. Rafa, I want to ask you for the papers again. Can I have the papers back, please? Can I have the papers back? Can you give them back, please? Okay, I need them back. I want to ask you for them. Do you mind if I ask you for them back? Do you mind if I ask you to give them back to me? Thank you. And the cup? Can I ask you to give the cup back? Can I ask you to give? Puedo pedirte que me devuelva la taza. Can I ask you to give the cup back to me? Can I ask for the cup? Cuando solo pongo el sustantivo, en este caso el cup, el objeto, el complemento, la taza, se dice ask for. Te voy a pedir la taza si no te importa. I'm going to ask you. Se dice you después de ask y luego for. I'm going to ask you for the cup. I'm going to ask you to give me. Si entra en la ecuación un verbo después de pedir, que des, o que devuelvas, entonces to, no for. I'm going to ask you, Pedro, excuse me, Rafa. No, Pedro es para otro día. Rafa, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you for the cup. Rafa, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to give me the cup or to give me back the cup. Thank you. I need water. I'm starting to lose my voice. Oh, and by the way, Pedro, there's one more object I want to ask you for. Do you mind if I ask you for one more object? Yes, I want to ask you for another object. I want to ask you to give me the paperclip. I know it's a very valuable paperclip. Yes, I know that on the secondary market it could be worth a lot. But could you please give it back to me? I'm asking you to give it back. Do you mind? I'm asking you politely to give it back. I'm not telling you to give it back, and I'm not ordering you to give it back. I'm asking you in a civilized manner to give the paper clip back to me, to return it to me, to give it back to me. Thank you. Ya está. Okay. Come on. These are mine. I need my paper clip. Now, pídemelo. Ask me for it. Pídeselo a él. Ask him for it. Pídeselo a ella. Ask her for it. Pídeselo a ellos. Ask them for it. Pídenoslo. Ask us for it. Pídele que venga. Ask him to come. For ya no pinta nada aquí. Cuando hay un verbo. Pídele a ella que venga. Ask her to come. Me pidieron que viniera. They asked me to come. Te voy a pedir que vengas. I'm going to ask you to come. But not yet. After the next break.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah, bienvenidos, welcome. Okay, ya empezamos el tercer bloque, the third block for this program. And with what? With our vocabulary for the day. So let's get started, but first let me introduce my special guest, my lovely guest, Luca. Hello.
Hello, Hannah.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm great, great. Okay, we're going to begin with vocabulary, right? So you know what to do, and also todos en casa ya sabéis lo que hay que hacer, ¿verdad? Everything en voz alta, very loud, out loud, and also con buena pronunciación. Here we go. Starting with, empezamos con impulsivo.
Impulsive.
Good, muy bien. Había un poco de una pequeña pausa, pero muy bien.
I was
Okay.
thinking of the pronunciation.
Good, very good. Repeat again.
Impulsive.
Very good. Excellent. So, impulsive. Impulsive. Now, esa U que está ahí, esa U suena, it sounds like an A. Okay? So, pronunciamos esa U como si fuera una A. Right? Impulsive. Nunca decimos impulsive. Impulsive, no. Eso es típico del Spanish. No, no, no. So, impulsive. Impulsive. Y también la sílaba, right? Impulsive, la segunda recae, ahí es donde recae el acento, el énfasis, perdón. Okay, next we have tarifa.
Fair.
Good. Repeat.
Fair.
Perfect. Fair. 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 And fijaos bien, fair se escribe F-A-R-E. Fair. Pero también existe fair, F-A-I-R. Right? Se pronuncia igual, pero tiene otro significado. Fair, F-A-I-R, significa justo. Okay? Justo, pero el adjetivo justo. O injusto, fair, fair. Pero aquí fair, F-A-R-E, significa tarifa. Okay, next we have minoría.
Minority.
Good. Repeat.
Minority.
Perfect. Bien. So minority. Minority. The accent, the emphasis falls on the second syllable, la segunda sílaba. Minority. Minority. Bien. En común.
In common.
Perfect. Repeat. Good.
In common.
Great, great. So here we have two words, dos palabras. In common. In common. Okay. And finally we have la frente. Aquí.
Forehead.
Good. Repeat.
Forehead.
All right, muy bien. Forehead. Forehead. Claro, four se pronuncia igual cuando dices el número 4. Ok, claro, pero se escribe de forma distinta, pero se pronuncia igual. Four, como el número 4. Forehead. Forehead. Aquí, la frente. Ok, muy bien. Very good. Now, we're going to look at dos verbos. Bueno, un verbo really, pero dos usos o formas un poco distintas. El verbo to ask. Okay, to ask. Empezamos con to ask for, que es pedir, right? Preguntar por algo o pedir algo. For example, are you going to ask for the bill?
Yes, I am going to ask for the bill.
Good. Repeat again.
I'm going to ask for the bill.
Good. Perfect. Are you going to ask for the bill? Yes, I'm going to ask for the bill. Voy a pedir la cuenta, la cuenta. So I'm going to ask for the bill. Fijaos bien, when you say pedir algo, hay que meter la preposición for. Okay? Nunca decimos, I'm going to ask the bill. No. I'm going to ask the bill. No. Sin for, entonces eso significa preguntar algo a alguien. Right? I asked Pepe. I asked Pepe, eso sería, se lo pregunté a Pepe. Pero con for significa pedir algo. Okay, so another example. When are you going to ask for a raise?
Tomorrow I'm going to ask for a raise.
Very good, muy bien. ¿Qué significa raise?
Que te suban el salario.
Exactly, very good. So a raise es sustantivo. A raise es una subida de sueldo, right? Un aumento de sueldo. So when are you going to ask for a raise? I'm going to ask for a raise tomorrow. I'm going to ask for. Remember, ask for is pedir algo. Okay, now let's look at otra estructura. Okay, otra estructura when we say to ask más infinitivo. Ahora significa pedir que alguien haga algo, right? So pides a alguien que haga algo o solicitas que alguien haga algo. Entonces usamos to ask más infinitivo. For example, will you ask him to call me? Will you ask him to call me?
Yes, I'll ask him to call you.
Perfect. Bien. So, here again, estás solicitando o pidiendo que alguien haga otra cosa o haga algo. Will you ask him to, infinitivo, to call me? Y Lucas said, sure, of course, yes. I'll ask him to call you. Okay. Does he always ask you to do his work?
Yes, he always asks me to
Repeat. He always?
asks
Yes.
to do his work.
Okay, muy bien. Third person singular, no olvidéis. Presente simple. Okay, third person singular with that S ahí. So repeat the answer again.
Yes, he always asks me to do his job,
His work.
his work.
Okay, very good, very good. So, does he always ask you to do his work? Yes, he always asks. Otra vez, ese, tercera persona singular. Please don't forget. He always asks me to do his work. And also, fijaos bien, when we use this structure, cuando usamos esta estructura, hay que poner ahí que, un complemento. Okay, so you ask someone to do something, right? Pides a alguien que haga lo que sea. Okay, very good. Ahora, let's mix las dos formas, okay? Are they going to ask us for more time?
Yes, they are going to ask us for more time.
Very good. Sí, sí, nos van a pedir más tiempo. They're going to ask us for more time. Did he ask her to go out on Saturday night?
Yes, he asked her.
Oh, pasado, pasado.
He asked her.
Oh, asked it?
No, asked.
Oh, uy, 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 uy. Okay, asked, nunca. Borra, delete, delete, delete de vuestro inglés. Okay, nunca. I never want to hear asked, nunca. Asked, asked. Una sola sílaba. So repeat.
Yes, he asked. He
asked her.
He asked
Her
her
to go out.
to go out on Saturday.
Okay, very good. So ask en el pasado, verbo regular, termina en ed, pero el sonido al final es una t. Okay, it's a t. Asked, asked. Una sola sílaba, asked. Nunca decimos asked. Asked, no, nunca, 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 nunca. So, yes, he asked her to go out on Saturday night. Okay, good job, Luca. Good job at home. Please keep practicing and see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Class number 173 is now part of the history of this program. We only have 22 classes left. We only have 22 classes left. Puedo poner only después. We have only 22 classes left, which is not too many, but still quite a few. Bastantes. We still have quite a few classes left, which means you can't let your guard down. Don't let your guard down. It's dangerous in boxing, and it's very dangerous in learning a second language. If you let your guard down, much of the momentum, impetu, much of the impulso, much of the momentum from before is lost. So you have to continue. Don't let your guard down. Continue making an effort. Stay with me and my colleagues. Stay with us, please. And see you tomorrow.